DCE refranchised Warner Brothers, DC Comics pitch. Second movie, Batman, Prince of Gotham. Synopsis summary. Opening scene with an establishing shot of the Wayne Manor. It's the year 1993. Leaving from the manor is Thomas and Martha Wayne with Bruce in front, ready to get into the car to head to the Chapel Theater. Cuts to the inside of the theater with the credits rolling in the background as the camera pans around the inside of the theater to the Waynes with their backs to the camera, ready to head out into the rain. With their backs still to the camera, Thomas Wayne says to Bruce, "Ready to go, son?" Bruce responds, "Yeah, Dad, I'm tired." "Well then, sweetheart, let's go home," says Martha Wayne. As their backs are still to the camera, a transition takes place with Bruce's back still to the camera with Alfred holding an umbrella over Bruce's head in the rain, looking down at his parents' grave on the Wayne Manor. Cuts to the frontal position of Bruce crying as Alfred still holds the umbrella over Bruce's head and his. Cuts to a close-up of Alfred's face saying to Bruce, "I'm so sorry, Master Bruce." Cuts to Bruce still crying as he hears a screech coming from the woods in front of him. Bruce looks up and becomes entranced as he stares, still whimpering over his grieving parents' death. Cuts back to the woods where the noise is coming from. A glow of yellow eyes, presumably a flock of bats staring back at Bruce as he settles his cries. Cuts to Bruce's face with medium shots slowly zooming in as he continues to hear the screeches of the bats coming from the woods off screen. Bruce's eyes goes from a trance to pure anger as he scowls at the camera as it zooms in slowly with the lightning strike in the background. Cuts to black with the lightning strike sound. Cuts to Alfred opening up the curtains as the sun rays flashes quickly. Bruce is annoyed as he groans and covers himself with the covers as Alfred responds, "Rise and shine, Master Bruce. Are you a turtle hiding in a shell or a man waiting to take on the world?" says Alfred. Bruce's response, "I'm a man of many things, Alfred. Sunshine is not one of them." Bruce is 15 years old in the year 2000, making his way into Gotham's prestigious academies. "Get ready, Master Bruce. You have food sitting on your right, clothes on the bottom row of your bed, and once you are dressed, you may attend to your hand grip for 5 minutes, says Alfred. Cuts to Bruce in the middle of the floor on the carpet, angrily squeezing his hand grips really fast. Cuts to Bruce getting into the back seat as the car door shuts behind him. Cuts to Alfred driving Bruce to school with Gotham City's reflection showing over the windshield. Cuts to Bruce staring out into the window as he sees the decay of Gotham City and its people. Cuts to an established shot of Gotham Academy as Alfred and Bruce enters through the main entrance inside their car. Bruce gets out of the car. Alfred hands him his book bag and lunch. "Make a wonderful day, Master Bruce," says Alfred. "Thanks, Alfred," says Bruce with a look of disinterest. Cuts to Bruce walking into his first period class. Cuts to Bruce sitting with the rest of the other students from a wealthy background as they scoff at Bruce over his dead parents. Bruce becomes furious as one of the students named Samson Mayflower imitates his parents' murder. Bruce gets up, ready to punch Samson. But Bruce's childhood friend, Thomas Tommy Elliott, in the future to become Hush, the rival to Batman, stops him from getting kicked out over another student's immature actions. Cuts to Bruce and Thomas talking in the hallway for a quick moment. "Don't beat yourself up, Bruce," says Thomas. "How's life back home?" says Bruce. "My father's an abuser and my mother just takes it, but at least they gave me a good education for the so-called life. It's too bad they're still alive," says Thomas with anger as he looks at Bruce. Cuts to them walking off with their backs to the camera. Cuts to a montage of Bruce going to every class, being mocked and shutting himself off from everyone. Cuts to Bruce walking towards the car where Alfred is standing, holding the door open for him. "How was your day, Master Bruce?" says Alfred. Bruce sits in silence. Alfred looks at Bruce with a concern on his face. Alfred shuts the door. Cuts to them making their way back to the main gate to the manor. Cuts to Bruce sitting in his father's favorite chair in the library room as it rains down hard with thunder and lightning. Alfred sees Bruce sitting in silence. "Do you want anything to eat, Master Bruce?" says Alfred. "No, thank you, Alfred," says Bruce. Alfred walks away. Cuts to 15-year-old Bruce brooding as he sits in his father's favorite chair talking to himself. As the camera zooms in slowly, "I made a promise I made at the age of 8 that I would not look away from on that fateful night," says Bruce. Cuts to a picture hovering over the fireplace. Zooming in slowly is the family portrait of Bruce and his parents. Cuts back to Bruce as the camera continues to zoom in slowly towards Bruce's face. "I will become something of a wraith in the eyes of those who strike fear. But what?" says Bruce, pondering as the camera zooms in with a close-up shot of Bruce's eyes. Transition to Bruce's eyes at the age of 24. It's the year 2009, as Bruce is in a remote location, training amongst masked figures with swords, knives, and weapons. Cuts to a shadowy figure sitting in the background on his throne with his eyes glowing with green fixtures. Cuts to Bruce fighting back with montages of Bruce going through the ringer. Cuts to Bruce at a Dutch angle, kneeling to the shadowy figure, Ra's al Ghul. Fades to black to transition where Bruce is now studying at Oxford University. Cuts to montages of Bruce studying everything known to man. Cuts to Bruce leaving Oxford University and catching a cab. Bruce gets into the cab. Cuts to a medium long shot of the cab leaving. Cuts to Bruce inside the cab in silence as he thinks to himself. I'm not close to being finished, says Bruce narrating. Cuts to Alfred awaiting Bruce at his private jet. Bruce pays the cab driver, speaking in Dutch, which showcases his skills in many languages. Cuts to Bruce walking onto his jet as the camera faces Bruce coming towards the camera. Cuts to black, transitions to Bruce standing in his manor, looking out the window in the den wearing his black tailored suit. It's been 7 years since Bruce's disappearance from the public at the age of 17. Now 24 years old in 2009 and learning everything he needs to know to become the one thing he's missing. Transitions to 1 year later. It's 2010 as Bruce ponders in his manor to figure out what he should become. Suddenly, a bat screeches in the library room. Bruce walks in to see the bat sitting on his father's favorite chair, staring back at him. Cuts to a profile/long shot of Bruce and the bat staring at each other. Cuts to a close-up shot of the bat staring back at Bruce. Jump scare. The bat flies towards Bruce's face with the quickness. Cuts to the bat flying past Bruce's face. Bruce never even flinched. Yes, says Bruce as he lowers his head. Thunder and lightning off screen as Bruce lifts his head back up to the camera as it zooms in slowly. I shall become the bat, says Bruce with a rough undertone. Transitions to a building in Gotham on the rooftop, standing on a gargoyle statue with white glowing eyes in the shadows. Cuts to a group of men handling unknown packages from afar. Out of the shadow is Batman standing on top of the gargoyle, communicating with Alfred through his earpiece under the cowl. It's the first year of Bruce becoming Batman. It is January 1st, 2011. Throughout the movie is Bruce Wayne as Batman for the first time all the way up to December 31st, 2011. Batman is going on a hunt for an unknown crime boss who is bringing some synthetic drugs to the city of Gotham. It's up to Batman to put a stop to this crime boss known as Falcone. Cuts to a group of men in a warehouse at the docks. Light starts to flicker in the warehouse. One of the men responds with, "Hey, did someone forget to pay the light bill?" says one of the men jokingly. Everyone laughs. Lights go out. Batman responds in the dark, "That's a good one." Everyone starts to panic. "Everyone get your guns," says one of the men in fear. You hear each gun preparing to shoot. A patch of light coming from the moon's rooftop over one of the henchmen as he slowly backs up near a stack of boxes with a gap between them, sweating. Behind him in the shadows is two glowing white eyes, with hands reaching towards his neck. Off screen you hear a struggle. "Duncan," says one of the henchmen. Lights come back on. Duncan is hanging upside down in the middle of the rest of the group. They all freak out to see Duncan beaten up but still conscious. Batman speaks using his ventriloquism to throw the group of men off guard. The lights go out again. In the shadows you can hear scuffles and grunts as Batman beats up the men in the dark. The lights come back on as everyone is on the ground in pain. One henchman is left in shock as Batman creeps up behind him, grabs him and throws him up against the wall. As the henchman stares in fear, it cuts to Batman's iconic white eyes giving the henchman the bat glare with the Batman animated series theme playing in the background. "Who's bringing in these shipments?" says Batman. Cuts to Falcone in his office in a discreet location explaining his plans to run Gotham City. Batman is on the other side of the rooftop where Falcone is talking. "Alfred, I spotted our main guy. I did some digging on one of his men's story on how Falcone is planning on taking control of the GCPD by paying off the chief commissioner," says Batman. "You should know by now, Master Bruce, that the city is becoming a cesspool," says Alfred. "Not if I have anything to say about it," says Batman. Batman jumps off the rooftop in slow-mo with him holding his cape, making a bat-like pose with the glowing moon behind him as he glides towards the camera real quick. Cuts to black. Transitions to Falcone's office as lights begin to flicker. Falcone looks up. Cuts to henchmen walking in the hallways with red velvet interiors everywhere. The lights begin to flicker again. Off goes the lights as the henchmen pause in caution as they hear noises off screen. One of the henchmen walks down the hall with his weapon. The others follow behind him, slowly creeping down the line. As the camera focuses on the main henchman in front, not knowing that Batman is behind the corner of the hallway, the henchman jumps out to shoot. Cuts the hallway, showing that there is no one there. Cuts to the other henchman at the back of the line as Batman drops down in silence. Cuts to the very end of the lines as one of the henchmen turns his head to see Batman standing right behind him. Batman punches towards the camera. Off-screen gunshots go off as Falcone hears the commotion in the hallway. Cuts to Batman doing flips and kicks, breaking one guy's arm and throwing a batarangs aside each gun exploding them. Batman defeats all of the Falcone's guards. Batman kicks down the door. Falcone has already left the scene. "Did you find him, Master Bruce?" says Alfred on the intercom. "No," says Batman. Cuts to an establishing shot of the Wayne Manor. Cuts to Bruce in his bed with the timer showing his everyday routine. 3 p.m. Bruce wakes up. 5 p.m. Bruce works out his body. 7 p.m. Bruce has dinner. 9 p.m. Bruce works on his cowl and prepares for his night out on patrol. As Bruce is fixing his cowl in the Batcave, Bruce lifts up his head as he thinks about the path that he has chosen. "Master Bruce, how about a night out on the town?" says Alfred. "You know I can't," says Bruce as Alfred cuts him off. Oh, by God, Master Bruce, just once can you do something less nocturnal? The circus is coming in tonight. How about we go, says Alfred with a soft smile. Bruce agrees just for this one night. Cuts to the circus as people enter in with Bruce and Alfred already to their seats. Cuts to the circus performers and behind them are the Flying Graysons. A young boy runs towards his parents, the young lad named Richard Dick Grayson. Mom, Dad, wait, says Dick. Hey, son, how about you sit this one out, says Dick Grayson's father. But Dad, says Dick. Come on, son. You've done a lot of shows for the past couple of months. Why don't you relax this once, says Dick Grayson's father. Dick goes back to his trailer to watch the show live on his tablet. Behind the other trailers is one of Falcone's men threatening the ringleader about his fee not being paid. We've been here for only 3 days, says the owner of the circus in fear. Well, you see here, Mac, in Gotham, there's always a fee. Pay up, or one of your circus performers is about to have an accident, says Falcone's henchman. Please don't. I'll get you whatever you need, says the owner of the circus. $20,000, says Falcone's henchman. Right now, says the owner of the circus. Yeah, up front, says Falcone's henchman. We don't have that kind of money. We're just scratching by, says the circus owner in tears. Falcone's henchman gives the signal. If that's how it's going to be, eh? Says Falcone's henchman. One of the henchmen prepares a sniper rifle. Cuts to the Flying Graysons already performing the death-defying stunts. Cuts to the sniper rifle aimed at the Graysons. A silent shot goes off. Slow-mo of the Graysons in midair as the bullet goes right through both of Dick Grayson's parents as blood flows out of them in midair all the way to the ground. Cuts to Dick in his trailer, witnessing it all live on his tablet in shock and disbelief. Cuts to Dick rushing out of his trailer to attend to his parents as people in the audience scream in shock off-screen. Then cuts to Bruce and Alfred watching young Dick Grayson run into his parents' aid. One of the circus performers, soon-to-be dead man, stops Dick from getting to his parents' dead body. Cuts to Dick Grayson's parents' blood overflowing on the ground. Cuts to Dick in tears and in a trance to see his parents gone before his eyes. It's okay, Dick. We're here, says one of the circus performers as the rest of the circus performers gather around Dick Grayson to comfort him. Transition to Dick Grayson sitting on a bench with tears flowing and covered by Bruce Wayne's jacket. As Bruce and Alfred looks at Dick Grayson, cuts to Bruce telling Alfred the following. I don't think you should live like this, Alfred. Maybe we could come up with a solution, says Bruce. Are you thinking of a similar incident, Master Bruce? Someone who's standing right in front of me? Says Alfred with one eyebrow raised. Cuts to Bruce saying to Alfred, was that sarcasm, Alfred? Says Bruce. No, Master Bruce. This is sarcasm. Therapy, says Alfred as Bruce's face expression turns sour. Cuts to Bruce dropping down on one knee telling Dick Grayson, everything will be all right. We'll get to the bottom of this. For now, how about a hot meal? Says Bruce. Cuts to the kitchen at Wayne Manor as Dick sits at the kitchen bar whereas Alfred is cooking up a delicious meal. Cuts to Dick Grayson being served with lobster and rice with ginseng tea with a hint of honey. Cuts to Bruce preparing his night out on patrol. Cuts back to Dick Grayson eating as he can feel a rumble coming from below the manor. Off screen, you can hear Batman leave out of a secret hatch with the Batmobile. Dick Grayson gets out of his seat to go and see where the noise was coming from. Dick spots a grandfather clock with the wrong time set on it. Dick climbs to the top to change the clock but ends up setting it to a time where Bruce's parents were murdered. 10:48 p.m. is the unlocked number to the Batcave. The grandfather clock opens to the secret Batcave Bruce has been hiding. Cuts to a shot of Dick standing in the doorway as the camera creeps back slowly, revealing the Batcave with all its equipment and technology that Bruce has in his arsenal. Dick makes his way down the stairs of the cave as he gazes in awe as the bats fly over his head. Dick steps onto the platform to see the bat computer in front of him. He looks to the left, the bat plane. He looks to the right, training equipment. He looks around to see every gadget there is. Cuts to Dick picking up one of Bruce's grappling gun. Master Dick, yells out Alfred as Dick looks up in nervousness. Cuts to Alfred yelling for Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson comes from behind the wall where the grandfather clock is. Yes, Alfred, says Dick with a goofy smile. Master Dick, you shouldn't be wandering around the manor without a proper tour, says Alfred with a smile. I think I've seen everything, says Dick, whispering to himself. What was that, Master Dick? Says Alfred. Oh, nothing. Hey, show me around. This is a nice place you got here, says Dick. Cuts to the Batmobile, enters back into the Batcave. Bruce gets out of the Batmobile. Cuts to Bruce in regular clothing as he exits the grandfather clock. Bruce walks by Dick Grayson reading in the library. So how'd you like it here, says Bruce. I know who you are, says Dick. Bruce stops in shock. Dick drops the book on bats from his face onto the table. You're the Batman, says Dick with a huge smile on his face. Cuts to Bruce explaining to Dick that he cannot tell anyone. I won't tell anyone. I just want in, says Dick. No, this is not for you to be involved in, says Bruce. Please, I need this. Those punks or whoever is out there is still running the streets in Gotham. They murdered my parents, says Dick in anger. Bruce rubs his neck with tension. Please, says Dick as he lowers his head in sorrow. Okay, says Bruce. Yes, says Dick, but on one condition. You'll be doing a lot of training. Do you understand, says Bruce. Yes, I do, says Dick with a soft smile. You have to follow my orders or you're done. Is that clear? Says Bruce with a stern expression. You got it, sir, says Dick with a smile on his face. Cuts to the rooftops of Gotham City. Cuts to Batman hover over the secret hideout of Falcone. Cuts to Batman calling for Robin. Robin flips from one of the gargoyles' head and lands where Batman is standing. What's the 411, says Robin. Bruce hands Robin the high-tech binoculars. Those are the men you need to be careful for, says Batman. No problem. I could do that, says Robin. Cuts to the building preoccupied by Falcone's men and GCPD's crooked cops. Cuts to Falcone sitting in his quarters discussing business with the Chief Commissioner, Ronald Anderson, the crooked Chief Commissioner. It's the whole entire plot. Batman and Robin face off Falcone's men and the crooked cops. They duke it out as Robin shows that he is able to withhold his own for a young lad. Batman is handling the crooked cops and henchmen with ease. Cuts to Falcone and Ronald trying to make an escape. As the fight persists, Robin spots the sniper who shot his parents, sees and saw full detail of what happened while watching it on his tablet, and goes after him. Robin, yells Batman. Batman uses his smoke bombs to make a quick escape. Robin catches the man who shot his parents. The sniper strikes a punch but misses as Robin slides in, kicking the sniper in his kneecap, snapping it. Batman rushes out to see Robin hover over the kill of his parents. Robin pulls out a batarang. Batman stares from afar to see what actions Robin will take. The sniper pulls out a gun, but in a blink of an eye, a batarang lodges inside the gun, exploding it. It was Robin who threw the batarang at the gun, stating, "You're done. Justice is served," says Robin as he stands in the rain. Batman walks over to put handcuffs on the killer of Dick's parents. Cuts to Falcone and Ronald hopping into a private getaway boat. Out of nowhere, Batman and Robin appear from the shadows of the boat. "How?" says Falcone and Ronald at the same time. "One of your men squealed when my partner explained to him what he can do to his organs," says Robin as he laughs. "Besides, you two were headed to Metropolis if this plan of yours didn't work out on home turf. I would have found you regardless," says Batman, displaying his detective skills. Cuts to Falcone and Ronald being arrested by the GCPD. Batman looks at Robin. "You've done good work," says Batman. "Is that a compliment? Did you just compliment me?" says Robin as he laughs with disbelief. "Don't get too comfortable," says Batman with a bat smirk. Cuts to Batman and Robin on the rooftop ready for their next night out on patrol. Robin gets up from one knee as Batman poses with one leg forward staring out. "Another night of bad guy flame mignon," says Robin jokingly. "There's a report of a break-ins at the Ace Chemical building," says Batman. "Who is it?" says Robin. "They go by the name of the Red Hood Gang," says Batman. "So we're going after them?" says Robin. "No, we'll let the GCPD handle it. Besides, I want to see how the new commissioner will handle it. James Gordon. But if it all goes south, I'll handle it myself," says Batman. Cuts to Batman and Robin jumping from the rooftop towards the camera. Cuts to black and title credits. Fades to black with an opening scene of Bruce Wayne walking into the Daily Planet. News reporters crowd around him to get a story about his disappearance. As Bruce politely declined, walking up to him from behind is Clark Kent. "Hello, Mr. Wayne. Clark Kent of the Daily Planet. May we have a one-on-one interview on your views of this myth in Gotham?" says Clark. Cuts to a profile shot of Clark and Bruce eye to eye. "Why, certainly," says Bruce as he shakes Clark's hand. Cuts to black, roll credits. That's the second pitch. I'm working on the third one, which is Wonder Woman. And then I have 2 more pitches to write down. Bruce Wayne is Batman for an entire year, so from 2011 January all the way up to December. Here's how it works. Robin don't come in until like close to like the 4th quarter. If you think about it, if you think about how things transition, we still focus on the beginning of the first act and second act of Batman. Trying to stop. This is his first time being Batman, so trying to stop. All the bad guys, all the trying to get more information. Trying to use more of his detective skills, and also the end credit where Bruce Wayne walks into the Daily Planet. In the Superman pitch that I read is when Clark says to Jimmy Olsen, "Who's that?" Because in the background, the first Superman movie, all you see is a close-up and it's a blurred background, but you see like reporters walking, covering up, Bruce, and all you hear them say, "Bruce, Mr. Wayne, Mr. Wayne, Mr. Wayne." That's the correlation to them meeting each other for the first time, but they don't know their own, background, their own lives. They're acting, Clark Kent's Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne's Bruce Wayne, right? So that's something I thought about. So that end credit is basically Bruce, who disappeared for so long, finally steps into the public light, even being like gone for so long and being Batman, and nobody knew where he was, and he comes into the picture and they're crowding around him. That's the same, it connects. You see how it connects? Superman movie, you hear them say, "Bruce, Mr. Wayne, Mr. Wayne." And it's blurry, and then Clark turns his head and he asks Jimmy, like, "Who's that?" oh, that's Mr. Wayne. That's when in the Superman movie it just cuts to another scene. You get what I'm going with? That's how I wanted it to work. So that's why in the end credits, Bruce Wayne walks in Daily Planet. All you see is the back of his feet as he walks into the Daily Planet, and Clark Kent just introduce himself. That's the scene that gets cut out, you see what I'm saying, and added into the end of the credits of the Batman Prince of Gotham movie. And then there you have it. Like, there's gonna be a lot of Easter eggs. Oh, and if you guys go to, like, if you guys check my description in the Superman pitch and Batman pitch, I leave like little extra details, little extra details in there, little bits, tidbits, so that you guys can get an understanding of where I'm coming from with the movie. Like, there's a lot of things I can add into it, you know what I'm saying? It's not just me writing this. I mean, I wrote this. So tell me what you guys think, and thank you. Peace.